and welcome to something a little bit different today. A couple of weeks ago we asked you to ask us anything at all that you wanted on social media, anything from favourite bikepacking routes through to specific gear questions. Got a nice long list here, so we're just going to run through them and yeah, we'll kick off and we'll see where we go. So diving straight in, first question is from Wild Char, and they say, any tips for carrying camping setup on a small framed gravel bike? And yeah, it is an issue with smaller bikes, just literally because the frame is smaller, then there is less space to store things. You've got less clearance between saddle and rear wheel, less clearance between handlebars and front wheel, and a smaller frame as well. But there are quite a few different things that you can do. First of all, we do smaller versions of both saddlebags and bar bags, so have a look at those. But then obviously that's still not increasing the overall carrying capacity. There's some other products that we sell that are really good for that. If your bike has got bosses down the forks, then using carry cage and fork bags is an amazing way of adding actually some really good quality carrying capacity. Things like the down tube bag as well, really useful. And then maybe look at getting a custom frame bag too, so it uses that entire triangular space within the frame. You then maybe need to look at other ways that you're carrying water, but we've got things like the hydration vest as well, so you can carry a little bit of luggage on your body. So there are lots of different solutions. It is always going to be a little bit more challenging to get that total capacity up, but there's definitely options there for you. And finally, one thing before I forget, we do have some quite interesting products coming up later on in the year, which will be suitable for everybody, but will definitely be of interest to people with smaller frames. So yeah, keep an eye out for those too. Next question, questions. It's a 2 for 1, 2 similar questions. Trudgington Beltley wants to know, will you ever make stock, full or wedge frame bags for mountain bikes? And Molinaris Finest wants to know, will we make a frame bag for mountain bikes? I suppose the first thing to say is the frame bags that we already make work absolutely fine on most mountain bikes. The challenge with making stock frame bags is that obviously there are so many different frame sizes and different frame geometries out there that it's impossible to make one that suits every single one. So we don't have any plans to make any different geometry stock frame bags at the moment. I'm pretty sure that there should be something that will work for you already. If there really isn't, and if there's something that you specifically have in mind, then there's always the option to go down our custom frame bag route, and then you can have something that is tailored to perfectly fit your bike, whatever size you want to work, yeah, as I say, perfectly with your bike. Okay, so next question is from Alip123, and they want to know what our favourite UK bikepacking route is. I mean, first of all, the UK it's amazing that despite being quite a small island, we've got so many amazing routes. And obviously I'm not the only person that works at Restrap, so I did do a little bit of asking around the office and the factory this morning. We came up with loads of ideas. I think the area that most of us were drawn to was Scotland, and partly because the landscape there is amazing, there's some incredible riding, and also because wild camping there is really easy. It's actually legal to be able to do it there, and it does mean that there's way more flexibility. But there's routes all across the UK, so the ones that we came up with in terms of our favourites were Badger Divide, which is Inverness down to Glasgow, or the other way around, Cairngorms Loop, Dales Divide, another colleague said anything at all in the Lake District. We've got Gower in South Wales and Pennine Rally route as well. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're just a selection, and there's a slight northern bias. We're based in Leeds, so they're more that northern half of the country. If you're actually looking for a specific route, then something like bikepacking.com is an amazing resource for picking out routes, as is maybe something like Komoot. But yeah, or get a map out and draw a line from your home to somewhere else and plot your own route as well. I think there's something even better about exploring something that isn't a defined bikepacking route in a way. Okay, so next question is from Tay_S04, snappy name. Any recommendations for bikepacking journeys / routes to do? Obviously it's kind of similar to the last question, so I won't bother doing any more UK suggestions. But again, kind of took some votes around the office for favourites. My personal favourite, and a couple of other people said this as well, is the Torino Nice Rally, which runs from Turin in Italy down to Nice, it's been run as an event before, but it's a route that you can go and ride anytime you like. And for me, it's just this amazing, spectacular route through the Alps. There's lots and lots of climbing, but there's lots and lots of villages and lots of just beautiful places that you stop off along the way. Some other suggestions were Tenerife and the Garangaranche gravel route, or any of the Garangaranche routes. Look amazing in the Canary Islands, loads of options there, and pretty, not necessarily guaranteed weather, but good weather most of the year round as well. John, who's behind the camera, said that he did a trip to Japan with some of the other Restrap guys a few years ago, and for him that was just an amazing place because it's a totally different country, different culture, and something really different to anything else that he's experienced. So there's, again, it's kind of pick a country that you're interested in, you'd like to spend some time in, and then look for routes is I think probably the way that I would suggest doing it. 2 questions actually are from Wim Powell's official, who sounds like there should be a professional cyclist with a name like that. First question was, does your 10-litre bar pack have spaces to make room for cables? And then second question is, do you have printable templates for your frame bags so we can double check if they fit properly? First question is really nice and easy. Yes, our bar pack does come with foam spacers. And actually, if you have a look on the website, if you look at any of the bags on the bar bags section of the site, then actually all of those do come with foam spacers to sit between your bars and the bag, and yeah, allows you to space out for cables and that sort of thing. Allows you to get a really nice fit. A couple of other things to point out around the foam spacers as well. First of all, if you've managed to lose any, then we do sell spares on the site, and actually if you want to experiment with a couple more than what we send out, then you're more than welcome to buy those as spares as well. And finally, the other thing that is really useful in terms of just spacing things out and not crushing your cables is the bumper bar that we sell, which is on the bike behind me, and that just moves the bag out, stops it resting on the head tube, and also any cables too, so maybe think about that too. Second question, if you're looking at our website today as we're making this, then no, we don't have printable templates, but we will do soon. Yeah, so keep watching this space, and yeah, that will enable you to print something out, stick it together, and then marry it up to your frame to see which of the size frame bags that we sell is the best fit for you. Next question, Oliver Brunt wants to know, how do you get started wild camping / bike packing? I am still yet to make the proper plunge, but have all the gear. Laughing emoji face, crying laughing emoji face, even better. I mean, I suppose having all the gear is half the battle. It's like, in some ways it's the hardest bit. You're ready to go now, so it's just doing the actual planning. It's about actually just planning that first ride, I suppose, and maybe the best way to do it for your first one is plan something locally, maybe after work on a Friday or over the course of a weekend, heading out somewhere that you probably know a little bit or you know is within striking distance of home. Plot that, get there, set up, enjoy going through that process of setting up camp for the first time. We actually have an entire video about good ways to set up camp and little things to look out for, like making sure you're sleeping somewhere that's flat and isn't going to get flooded and all of these kind of things as well. And go through that process and just enjoy being out with no real aim of riding a long way. Get used to how the bike feels with everything all strapped onto it as well. You've done the hard bit you've got all the stuff. There's nothing stopping you going out tonight. And one of the lovely things about this time of year, and we've got some stunning weather at the moment, is like loads of people at work will do it, that we'll ride in the morning with all of our kit ready for a night out. We'll finish work, we'll ride off, probably via a pub, sleep out, and then back in work on the next morning, and nobody need know that you've not gone home for the night. So yeah, there's loads and loads of options, and so you've got the gear, so no excuses now. So we've got another question. This one is from, I'm guessing from Italy, Berettini Davide. It's not even a question, it's just a demand. Make a medium handlebar bag, please. If you go onto our website and have a look, then yeah, it's true, you will not see one that says medium handlebar bag, but we've got 5 different sizes of bags that fit on handlebars, from the canister bag all the way through to, I think our largest capacity is about 17 litres worth. So there's a huge range there, and there are plenty that sit in that middle range there. So just because it doesn't say medium, then does not mean that there's not one that will suit your needs. If there's something specific that you feel like we're not doing, then please do tell us, and yeah, maybe we've got a future product in the line there. So we've got a nice quick question from Blaine_rides. Are the straps stretchy or static? I'm assuming that you mean fast straps, Blaine, but if you mean some other strap, then do tell us and we'll report back to you. But yeah, the fast straps are very much not stretchy at all really. There's very slight give in them, but yeah, I would sort of see them as being grippy and static, and certainly once they're in tension then they're not stretching, they're not like bungees or anything like that. So hatching_a_plan_ wants to know the most aero way to pack their Crocs. I think probably the most aero way is to actually wear them. Just get some cleats on the bottom and away you go. Apart from that, then I think your aero gains are always going to suffer a little bit, but hang them off the saddlebag maybe. You've got the nice little stirrups for 4x4 mode, then you can just feed those through the saddlebag. Or again, yeah, maybe just some fast straps and tie them down around there. But yeah, I think that's what I would do. Scandinavian Chris wants to know, why don't we get stickers in our packages? Melty face emoji. It's not because we're being tight, it's mainly because we actually ship all over the world, and when we're doing that we're using warehouses that aren't based in the UK, and there are sometimes customs implications for things that are included in there that are not declared and everything like that. So it's one of those things where it's actually just a little bit more complicated than it should be. But if you think you would like to get some Restrap stickers, then let us know, and maybe that's something that we can add as a product onto the website. So we've got another fairly short question. This one from Matt_W_W wants to know the best bivvy spots on the Dales Divide. Matt, I assume you're doing the race. It's Easter weekend, isn't it? And for those that don't know, it's a race that goes from the west coast of England to the east coast and crosses over the Yorkshire Dales, there and back. Depends on what kind of pace you're going, but I'd say the one area where keep an eye out is as you're going into Wensleydale above Castle Bolton. There's a couple of bothies there, which obviously would be prime. Got a roof over your head for the night, and you never know, there might be a few guys from Restrap there as well. So we're rattling through them. Next question is from VeloJack86, and he says road, gravel, mountain bike, or fixed. All at once or nothing at all, I think, really. No, we've got such a huge mix in the office. We've got guys who are pretty much dyed-in-the-wool roadies, through to somebody like myself where I'm not pure mountain biker, but given a perfect day and I could pick any bike from those that I own, I would probably go out on the mountain bike. We've also got guys who just ride a bike to commute into work, and that's about it. If you were to wind back a good few years back to when Restrap was first starting, then most of us rode fixed gear bikes, and it's how we got to know each other, and it's how Restrap came about as a company, making pedal straps for fixed gear bikes. So there's some fixed heritage in there too. But I think, let's face it, whatever bike you're on, then life's better when you are riding it. Cool, so Fender Jew wants to know, is a high visibility version of your race hydration vest planned? That would be great, exclamation mark. So I suppose first things first, the current version of the race hydration vest does have some reflective elements on it. It's certainly not pure high vis, but it is reflective in the dark. And then, yeah, it's something that we have experimented with actually. We've done a couple of prototype versions, I've used one. And while we could do that, we haven't been fully convinced that there's enough of a market to be able to sell it. So I don't know, maybe we're wrong. Yeah, I'm going to throw it back out to the audience. If lots of you say it's something we should make, then yeah, we'll look back into it again. There's a Anima wants to know, what would be a solution for a saddlebag on a short seat pin? So we kind of covered small bikes as the first question, I think, actually. If we look specifically at saddlebags, then actually we do a couple of bags that are, or 3 bags that are smaller than perhaps what you might imagine the full-size bikepacking one to be. So our race range saddlebag is 7 litres, and again takes up less space above that rear wheel. And then if that is still too big for you, then we do the saddle pack, and that comes in 4.5 litres or 2.5 litres. And I think you would have to have the smallest bike in the world with the saddle slammed all the way down for the not to be clearance for one of those. But then, yeah, refer back to the other answer that we gave around small bikes as well, and that if you really can't fit something under the saddle, then there are other options for where you can store that luggage. You might want to go for fork bags, something like that. So next question is from Beckazet. I want to know, is it possible to chain the fast straps together to make it even longer? Yeah, absolutely is possible, and it's something that I've definitely done quite a few times. I think most of us who have got a few fast straps have done at some point, especially if you it's stuff like you're going into a shop at the end of the day and you've just got too much stuff to fit in your bags, but you don't need to go that far. You can daisy chain that together and you can wrap everything around your bar pack, something like that, and yeah, they work just as well like this as they do when it's just one of them, just as strong, and don't lose anything. So on to the last question, this one from Drum and Brakes on Instagram, and they want to know, are our bags 100% waterproof? It's one of those really short questions where the answer is a little bit longer. I'll try and be as brief as possible. Basically, the fabric for all of our main products is 100% waterproof. Yeah, definitely. We do actually IP ratings on all of our products. So if you have a look on the website, it will give the IP rating and it will give an explanation for what those are. But in short, our dry bags are all completely waterproof, absolutely fine. You can put stuff in there and you don't need to worry about anything getting wet at all. As long as you're doing enough rolls on that dry bag, make sure you get 3 done. All of our products with a zip, we use YKK AquaGuard zips, so they are very, very water resistant. But there is a point where if you're turning a hose on them, then at some point they do begin to leak ever so slightly. And that is exactly the same with any other product that uses that kind of zip. In terms of practical use, when I'm going out on a bikepacking trip, I'll load up my dry bags, not really worry about those at all. If I'm putting things inside my frame bag, if it's electronics or something like that, I will tend to put it inside another bag just to be absolutely on the safe side and make sure that they stay dry. One final point to make on waterproofing as well is that anything that we make with a roll top will also actually be seam sealed as well. So basically all that means is that where we've stitched the fabric together, then there's seam sealing over that, so there's no chance of water getting through the little perforations that the needle makes. If you do want to know more about waterproofing, or actually pretty much anything that we've talked about, then if you head to our website, we've got quite a few different technical documents that go into a little bit more detail about our products. We've got useful user guides about bikepacking for the first time, where to set up camp, what bags to actually bring, how to pack them, all of those kind of things. And then finally, if you can't find any of those questions anywhere else, or you just want to ask us in person, then drop a question down below. Once we've got enough questions for another video, then we'll send me back out into the sunshine, hopefully, and we'll do another video for you.